All right, welcome back to the stream. So today we're going to be finishing the southern route. I noticed that I've been alternating between calling it routes or trails. And I mean, maybe I'll fix it. Who knows? It's not really the most important thing. Um, but that being said, what we're really looking at doing today is just knocking out all of this fun stuff right here. We'll put a bridge here, grass, trails, no trainers yet. And then hopefully, depending on how far we get, we may also start the legwork, the groundwork for the town that's going to be going right here. Will be to the right of this map. Um, and then this is the third to last route that I'm the third to last, I guess, map that I need to build for this game. And I hope that the I hope that by the end of this week I will be able to transition into the eventing, which is really where we get to craft the story, and take a look at the characters, the starters, the trainers, all of those interactions. And actually the most important part, because when I'm done with the maps, I'm actually going to copy the maps and duplicate them. And what's actually going to be happening behind the scenes is when you beat a gym, you'll be moving to an identical looking map, but one that has all of the trainers and all of the other gym leaders at a higher level and with different Pokemon. So that as you play through the game, depending on the order of gyms you go to, you will have a different experience. And and this is all just practice for a future game that I want to build. That'll be a bit more intense, but I want to make sure I understand the basic structure of the game now, so that I can see how long it'll take me to make a larger version. So that's enough of an introduction. Let's jump right in and let's start building. So there's a dirt path to the left of this screen. It is right here. And I need to make sure it lines up. So it looks like it's one space lower than the rock. So that should connect us in. And this will be our starting point. So we're going to immediately split the player, right? They're going to walk out here. They're going to immediately have two choices, whether going up or down. And whenever I split the path, I try to consider what the player will think of, like what direction the player will think of going. And I obviously each player is going to play the game differently. They're going to have their own approach to it, but I think it's helpful to at least consider it, because I want to make sure I'm not railroading the player down a certain path. And so in that sense, like for example, if I was just starting out, well, not if I was just starting out, depending on how I was feeling, if like I just wanted to have less encounters because I want to get to a trainer that I need to fight. In that scenario, I'm more likely to avoid paths with grass. And so if I was coming back, I'd already gone through the trail, and I I had left to heal and I wanted to be fresh, I'd probably go down. And I think just at least considering that when making a level, it helps you kind of envision maybe some unintended effects of a map. Do something like that. We're going to close this off so the player can't actually walk through here. We want them to go down and across the bridge. And something else that I talked about last time is that I'm going to be putting the swamp trees that I blew past up here. So that's why I marked out that space. 3. And then I could put another one, but the base of these trees only really cover 2 squares. And so it only really cover there, and then I feel like I have some dead space back there. I guess I could correct the... I could bring the rocks out. I don't want to do that, but I also... Oh, do you know what? I could do something with these bushes. Or the problem with these bushes is... But that doesn't actually... Yeah. So you'll notice down here the tone is a little different between the base of the tree from the actual grass, which is why I always default to this one. Is just because it's a little clear cut. But with the bushes, hey, check that out. That's not... It's not bad at all. And I can keep it going. I can close it off and have it start again. I can make it I can make it longer. I can make it a miniature. I think I'll just keep it like that, but I'll keep that in mind while I'm building out the rest of the level as an alternative to putting these swamp trees in, because the swamp trees are kind of big. Okay, let's take a look at that bridge. And it looks like because of we covered up there, I don't know how big of a deal. It's not really that. You guys have probably noticed I'm using a lot of Nintendo lo-fi music just in the background of my stream. It's funny. I like all of the Zelda playlists more than any of the other ones. I mean, there's honestly not a lot of Pokemon lo-fi tracks on YouTube, or I guess I shouldn't say tracks because there are like playlists, and so I don't want to use like the same 2 every time I stream. But that being said, there's a lot more Zelda stuff, which is actually pretty great, in my opinion, because I really like Zelda. I never actually played it growing up, it was never something that my family was really into. My cousin played a lot of Zelda. I never actually, I have an N64 now. I didn't have one growing up. But my cousin did, my neighbors did, all my friends did. So I ended up playing quite a bit. And I remember like playing just a little bit of Ocarina of Time while hanging out with my cousin, but nothing substantial. And I mean, I was really young. I remember just like running around Hyrule Field, and then it'd turn nighttime, and the stall skeletons would climb out of the ground, and I'd freak out because I had no idea what to do. I didn't know how to play the game at all. But then we just play the ocarina, turn it into daytime, and then just like keep essentially running in a big circle. We had no idea what we were doing. However, that all changed when Breath of the Wild came out. I knew pretty early on that I wanted a Switch. I thought it was really cool. And so I pre-ordered a Switch, but we were trying to figure out like, well, what games are there to even play on the Switch, right? Because like the launch titles were like ARMS and Breath of the Wild and 1-2 Switch. I think those were like, I'm probably forgetting some critical ones, but that was basically it. And so we were like, okay, we'll try Breath of the Wild. We'll see what that's like. Holy crap. I mean, that game it is honestly, it is the best gaming experience I think I've ever had. I would come home and just play Breath of the Wild. And it's funny because I would come home, my wife would come home, and then we just take turns playing Breath of the Wild. And it was always just like switching between our accounts. It was just a completely different experience for us. And so that was really where I started as a Zelda fan. And after that, it was just, I mean, I turned around and Switch Online was like, the Switch Online service existed. So I played and I beat the original Zelda game, and then I turned around and I played Zelda 2, which I think is literally impossible without save states. I don't know how I would have been able to do it. That game is insane, but it was also really cool. And also it has my favorite Zelda song, which is the Temple song, which I didn't even know was from Zelda 2. I only knew about it because of Super Smash Brothers. But anyways, that was my introduction to Zelda, and it didn't stop there. After that, I also played A Link to the Past. All three of the first three Zelda games are all on the Switch now, if you have the online service. And that game, I even now, whenever I open it up, I just can't believe that is a game that was made that long ago. It looks to me, it looks like the kind of retro game I would expect someone to make today. Like it is, I personally think if you're looking at like that art design and sound design, I think it has aged so well. Absolutely love it. And then Link's Awakening got a remake on the Switch, so I had to play that. And then I got an N64, and I've played through all of Ocarina of Time except for the ending battle with Ganon, which I'm gonna be completing soon. And I mean, yeah, it's it's incredible. All of that from just Breath of the Wild as an introduction. And now I've played like 1 billion Zelda games. and this is and now for the bad news. I borrowed Skyward Sword from a friend, and I played like through the first dungeon, and I put it down. That was like the one Zelda game in my blitz of Zelda gaming that just really didn't work for me. And I've been thinking about it, and I'm thinking maybe when I have more time I should pick it up and finish it, because I'm looking at this point, I have Majora's Mask. I haven't opened it and played it yet, but that's next after Ocarina of Time. And I look at everything and I think I am only Wind Waker and Twilight Princess away from having played every single 3D Zelda game. And just that fact alone is making me seriously reconsider like going back and trying to play Skyward Sword again, because I know there are people who like legitimately enjoy it. The person I borrowed it from really enjoys it, and I totally get it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone has different tastes in, you know, what kind of game they enjoy. And I'm thinking like maybe because I'll have a little bit better expectations, understanding what it's like, I'll be able to play through it farther. Because honestly, I just wasn't about the control system. I didn't care for swinging a Wiimote around. It irked me that if I needed to like grab a ledge or climb a wall, that like my only option, or jump up to a cliff edge, my only option was to just run at it. It felt like very powerless as a player. And honestly, for those reasons, I was just like, you know what? I think this is good enough. Do I want to put this layer? Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep it. Do you know what I should do? Ooh. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna put a little explorable ruin right here in the mountainside. That looks great. And I'm gonna block that not with cut, not with strength. Oh, sorry, not with rock smash, but with strength. And I'll make just a cave system. And honestly, maybe when I'm done with the cave system, I'll have it drop you out somewhere here. We'll worry about that when we get to it. For now, that's just a fun thing to explore later on in my level, in my game. Okay, let's finish down here. Is moving along, even with me constantly stop. Not bad. I made that weird space right there because I knew that I was putting a tree down. Probably third layer. And then I should probably put it here. No, I can't. I can't. Because it gets clipped by the cliff. But I can do that for now. I wish that they had one of these that ran vertically. Maybe that's something to consider if I ever sit down and make my own tile set. Which, just being honest, I'm not that interested in it. I appreciate the just absolutely stunning things that other people have made in custom tile sets, but I just know that that is not that is not one of my few talents. Oh, do you know what? I think I blew it. I think I missed my chance. I should have used the tall grass in this map because of the like jungly trees. That's okay. What I don't use here, I can easily use later. See, now I feel like something should be down here. You know, break it up. But I don't want to put tall grass down there. Because then it looks like there's a way to get there, and there obviously isn't. Going back to what I said earlier, talking about Zelda, I still okay. So even after playing through all of those Zelda games, Breath of the Wild is still my favorite, and like past that I literally can't rank them, because I found all of them enjoyable in their own way. That being said, I actually really like Zelda 2. And it's absurd because even though I genuinely like really enjoy it, I know that it is crazy hard, and that it's like, and that if I couldn't save it wherever I wanted, that I would have walked away from that game a long time ago. That I just would have put it down and said, this isn't worth it. But through the powers of modern technology, I recommend that game to everyone. And also, I mean, this is kind of just, for me, this is par for the course for Zelda games. I would recommend a guide, mainly because I'm not going to I'm not really going to commit to discovering every little thing naturally, just because I don't have the time. When I'm going back and playing older games, I don't have the time to do that. Yeah, I agree, Christina. Breath of the Wild. I mean, Christina, I know you've only really played one Zelda game, but I'm still gonna agree with you on this. Breath of the Wild is amazing, and I can't wait to see what they do with the second one. Though I'm a little concerned that it won't have the same charm, just because you can't. Just because I feel like you're going to end up exploring essentially the same space, the same world. So I hope they change the world enough to really capture that exploration feel. No, that's completely fair. If anyone asked me like, what Zelda game should I start with, I'm gonna say Breath of the Wild every time. So I totally get it. I personally think that's just an easy place to start. Okay, I put down some like poles to kind of like go with the ruins, though the ruins don't really match the tile set as that well. I should have honestly done something with these, but this is really just like a cube. It doesn't, what, I can like put it up there. There's not nearly as much that I can do to kind of show that space. Also, when I put these down, I guess I put them down randomly. I'm gonna pull strengthen. We're gonna make a little bit of a puzzle moment, and we'll redesign these posts. So let's go to the default game set, and I think it's outside. Yeah, this is push this boulder. Do I need strength to push this boulder is the question. I would hope that I'm pretty sure that script requires strength to be reckoned. Okay, so we're gonna make a very, very short kind of puzzle scenario, and so we'll probably end up restructuring these posts. But essentially, when a player walks up and sees this and they have strength, we're going to ignore these two side entrances for now. We're just going to look right here. Right now, they can just push this one twice and then walk around it. Or push this one twice and then walk around. I mean, I don't know how much of a puzzle I want to actually put here. I actually, being completely frank, puzzle design is one of my favorite parts of the Pokemon games. I love the ice caves, and I'm putting an ice cave on the island when we finally get to that part of the game. I know that that's a fairly unpopular opinion. So I think I've walked back wanting to create a full puzzle right now. But what I will do is put one right here and here. That guarantees you have to use strength, because you're gonna, if you come from this side, you're gonna push this one this way, and then push this one to here. I'll even put an item here and an item here, and then the player can push it again, get this item, that'll be locked, and when they come out, then they'll be able to go left and get it. And then they can just push this right here, and they can walk straight down. Now, to get in, they need to push this to the right, so they can't access what's back here to get in here. I'll make it so that they have to change their mind. Though they have to not change their mind, but make a decision. They can either go into the ruins or go this way, and that'll depend on if they choose to push this block up or choose to push it to the right. And then they'll be able to get to this back area. So I'll need to build this out with that in mind. Okay, we're getting real close to the end of this route. Okay. I think I want the player to enter the town from down here. So let's finish this top area, which is going to be separate from the town. You won't be able to ever walk into the town from this area, which immediately means that I'm just going to wall it off. Nope, not capture. Here. I think I want this. I think that's... And now I can just pull it up. I still miss it. I still mess up the treetops down here. There we go. There we go. Okay. And now I'll just pull these posts down. Out of the Zelda games that I've never touched, I personally think Wind Waker looks the most interesting. I've heard people say that it's similar to Breath of the Wild, just with a lot of water. No idea how accurate that is. Here we go. That looks fun. And then I'll put something back there for the player. I could actually put a really good item back there, because then it'll be locked behind getting strength. So I know that it won't be like an early game item. Because like hypothetically, I could create a scenario where before even beating a gym, you could get XP share. And I mean, and this is tough. Some players really enjoy it, and I get that. Like, it minimizes grinding. And I personally am always an advocate for, playing the game how you want to and how you have time to play it. Like I said, like earlier in the stream when I said that I use a guide when I play older Zelda games, it's because like if a new Zelda game comes out, I'm willing to commit the time because part of it for me is exploration. But when I sit down and play the originals, I don't have that same, I guess, outlook or stamina for it. I'm on the third layer. I should go second there. Oh, do you know what I should do? Nintendo Lo-Fi is great, but I should just start playing the Link's Awakening OST. I love that soundtrack. It is absolutely delightful. That's to help me visualize where the path will go eventually. I think this area will have some trails to hop. Some ledges. Because again, hypothetically a player's first time walking through here could be entering on the left. Entering from the left. For them, they'll be coming in on the left, which is the right. and then leaving on this side. So if they're truly coming from here, from this side for the first time, I have no qualms of interrupting them a couple times. So we'll interrupt there, and we'll interrupt them up here one time, probably around this transition point. Well, actually, no. Because they'll walk through grass and they'll probably go back on the trail. And so if I put it right here, this will just encourage him to stay on the path, you know? It's not really change things for him. Heck it. Let's do it. When I'm done making all of these maps, I'm actually probably going to share them online. There's a subreddit that is just for sharing Pokemon maps, which I think is super. I absolutely love seeing what people do with the maps. I mean, the best posts are when people make their own tile sets. They make custom tile sets that just look incredible. But no, I just like looking at how people build out levels and kind of their approach to creating a series of moments for the player as they go through a game. Whoop. All right. We're getting very close to calling it a night on this. I don't want to put trees right. Actually, I think I do want to put right. See how they'd look. I'm always catching myself on the first one. Looks something like that. Well, I think I can drop this whole chunk too. Yeah. Yep, that's how it look. I like that. I like that. Free rough patch, rough patch. Ooh, do you know what I realized? I need to cut that off. Well, so this is funny. I actually earlier today looked at Route 1 in Fire Red, and they just do this. They just full on keep the trails going right through ledges. And I mean, I've always bothered to cut it off. I think that that's just not how it looked. But then I've gone back and checked it out, and no, like, Pokemon games don't care about where those ledges are. They'll just throw them in the middle of roads, and people don't complain about it. I'm talking about in-game. I'm not talking. Ooh, do you see that? Do you see what I see? Look right over here. A post covered up. We don't want that. Okay. Sweet. Sweet. I think that's it. I think I got everything I wanted to get done. I think I got through everything I wanted to get done. Which means let's walk around in it. Let's see what it looks like. Nice. Yep, strength. Yeah, it says Juice's strength. That's my strength that lets me move these boulders around. Don't need no Pokemon. Oh. This may be one of my favorite routes for this game. But I mean, it has so much going on. It has a lot of cliff faces that you're walking around. It has a lot of water. It has bridges to go over the water. It has a couple little nooks for you to explore. It really does look beautiful. And look at that. I lined it up. See? We transition right there, but it looks real good. This patch, I should probably make that trail go a little bit farther, because that's quite a big dead grass. You can go back here. Yeah. This is great. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Let's do a couple. Let's update some information about this map. Outdoors, yes. Show area, yes. Bicycle, yes. Always bicycle? No. Healing spot skip, weather. This would be a place that could have a storm or heavy rain. I think I'm going to put in heavy rain on this map, and I'm going to give it a 10% chance. We'll see how that looks. Map position, dive, dark, safari, snap edges. We're going to just blow past all of these. Environment is one that we will do. And I'm pretty sure I've done all of these. Well, not all of these. I haven't done nearly half of them. I've done forest, grass, rock, sand. And so I think I'll do tall grass, even though technically this isn't tall grass. And we're going to save those changes. And it transitioned to night. When we walk into the map, it should show the name of the area. Ooh, 10% chance we got the rain. Ooh, that's pretty dark when it's at night. I'm going to keep it though. I like it. All right. Well, I'm going to save right here. Well, actually no. I'm going to quickly go across the map because tomorrow night when we start working on the town, I want to be a little bit closer to it. You know, just doing something nice for future me. It's important to do that. I'm almost there. There we go. And there's the edge of the map. That's where the town will be. So let's save right in front of it. Close out. Yeah. Oh, no, I think we're good. Um, yeah, we made it through the trail. We're making great time on this. I mean, in the future, I'm going to want to be even faster, but I'm very happy with how this is developing. So I'm just going to save it. As always, thanks for watching. Um, I tend to come on at around 10 o'clock, sometimes earlier. That's Mountain Standard Time. So feel free to come and check in on the work, see how far I'm getting with my Pokemon game. When I'm done with it, I actually do plan on releasing it on Relic Castle. It'll be my first Pokemon game that I'll have ever publicly released. I made another Pokemon game. I started way back in 2016, but I never released it. So, so yeah, I'm happy with the progress, and we'll just keep on keeping on. Thanks for watching.